Hello, this is the very first time that I'm doing one of these Techo Kaigi videos, and I've been so inspired by the stationery community, and I've really taken this to heart now, kind of staying behind the scenes, and I decided to do a video this time to, yes, participate and be part of the community, but also to talk with myself so that I remember some of the things that I've gone through. It tends to be one of those things where I make choices and then I forget why I made the choices that I made. And so this is kind of talking to me in the future so that I can refer back to see what I thought about some of these things. For those that are for the very first time going to watch this video and don't know what Techo Kaigi means, it really is kind of like you have a meeting with your planners, and this is sort of it's literally sort of translated into planner meeting, and it's meant to be a way for you to assess whether or not or how you have been using your stationery, your planners, your workflows, whether it's working for you or not. And it doesn't necessarily always have to be about productivity, although it can, of course, but I do believe that there's an element of doing these assessments as a delicious, yet another delicious thing you can do with your stationery and have an opportunity to touch base with the things that you love. And so I'm doing that as an opportunity to touch base again with the things that I love and to talk through the joy that they brought me, the things that have worked and the things that haven't worked. And so let's go ahead and begin. Here is my stack of things. There's a lot. So I'll start from the bottom up, and I'll talk through all of these a bit at a time. So this is a Rodiah dot book. It's just it's a plain old notebook. You can get these from Amazon very, very easily. I love it because it's square, but we'll talk deeper about this. This is the named Hobonichi Techo, and this is the English cousin. So Hobonichi Techo cousin. That sounds funny. The English cousin. And this is my love. This is my love. This is the very first time that I've had the full book. Oh my gosh, look, it's all chunky. This is the first time that I've had the full book. I usually buy the, Avec, which is 2 books split up into, 6 months, 6 months. I prefer that. In fact, I think I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go back to that. This is too fat. It's too fat. It's too heavy. And I only got it because it was the English edition. So there's that. This one here is the Jibun Techo. This lighting is a little funky. This is the Jibun Techo. I believe, I'm going to see if I have it. I have the name right in front of me. Yeah, this is the plain old, the basic one, right? The one that everybody kind of gets. For this, the standard Jibun Techo. Here we have Hobonichi Weeks, which is just a smaller planner. This one comes with me almost everywhere that I go. Then I don't know how to say this one again. This is Florier Labs. I'll put a link in the description. The Narro Diary for 2023. It is a Taiwanese, look at how beautiful it is, diary. And then I have a small passport size traveler's notebook style, although this is not a traveler's notebook proper at all. But I do have some of that on the inside. So let's begin first by talking through the journals versus the planners. There is a difference between how I use my stuff. So I am going to remove these for the moment. So the Hobonichi Techo cousin is my memory keeper. This is where it didn't start that way. I started it off having it be 2 things, as in a little bit of planning and also having some memory keeping. And then I realized, you know what? I just want this to be a memory keeper, and it has continually expanded. So I do a lot of different things with the Hobonichi Techo cousin, and it generally is more of a after the fact type of a planner. It's not a planner. It's more of a memory keeper. So I don't really put things in here that are meant to be a way for me to move forward with something. I literally just put all the memories in there, hence having it be fat. And I have really allowed myself to play with this as much as possible, meaning I'm not precious about it. I did start to be precious about it, but I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do whatever pops into my head and start to work it that way. So I'm going to see if I can, I love the Coffee Monster stickers, by the way, this is a Coffee Monster sticker at the top, which I just thought was so cute. It's the only one that I have. And I do have a cover on it because I did notice that in the last time that I bought my Hobonichi Cousin Avec, they got so dirty. Even though I did have Hobonichi covers, but I decided to just keep this one basically naked and not put a cover on top of it. I have recently been inspired this is just where the daily, it's kind of like a tracker of sorts, if you will, an overlook of the year. I decided to start to swatch my inks here. I have seen some people do that, and I thought, oh my gosh, what a great idea. So I literally just started doing that in June because I hadn't done anything to this area, and I find it to be just so pleasing for me to have the reference back there. I love to swatch my inks in almost every single notebook that I have. So as soon as I swatch a new ink, I decide, I'm going to go right in all of the notebooks to see what the ink looks like in every single one. So this brings me a lot of joy to just be able to do that. These are essentially what I have currently ink with all my fountain pens. So it's fairly lighthearted. This area, the monthlies, I usually put things that delight me. Anything that brought me delight in the day, it really is just a one sentence of something that brought me delight in that day. So I just write that in there. I don't want to give too much away. That's why my hands are right on top of it. And I tend to, on the side, I just write the book that I'm reading on the side there. And then I will just do like Monday through, the week, and I will just X out if I do read that day or I don't read that day. So I'm trying to keep an overview of the books that I read here and a written nature. And this has worked fairly well, but as you can see, I started to drop off a lot. In fact, there were many times when I didn't even get back to this area. Look at May. May is gone, and June is super sporadic. And then I started to do a little bit more here in July. And I want to keep doing this. I think I have to. Here's the thing with this. The reason that this hasn't been as helpful this time is because I'm split up into so many books. And so because I'm split up into so many books, I don't have an opportunity to just be in it. I was a lot more consistent when I was simply in one book, but I found that all the information that I wanted to put down I couldn't put it down in one book because I started to mix between the planning and the memory keeping, and that's a split thing. I also find that this is my happy place, and I have a very hard time moving into this book when I'm stressed or when I have a lot of emotional things happening or when my brain simply can't let go of the day. I love being in this book, but I push it away because it's my happy place, and I have a hard time letting go to play with it in a positive space if I have a lot in my brain. So I'm allowing myself the time and the space to not do that. Okay, so let's continue through. This is what I had decided. I made a mistake here, by the way. This shouldn't have been here. But I decided to have the weekly section be sort of like my media consumption journal part. So my idea was around creating a really simple way for me to just jot down and remember the things that I'm consuming. So what I'm consuming here is I put a little L for the things that I'm listening to, a little W for the things that I'm watching, and I just wrote down things that are in my ears or things that I'm looking at. And my idea was also around trying to keep track of discoveries that I make on YouTube, videos that were meaningful, and sometimes not so much. Sometimes I'll give more detail as to what I thought about said thing, but most of the time it's just about a log. It's more of a log. There's not as much emotion tied to it at all. It's just a log, and that's okay with me, because what tends to happen is I will read back and go, oh yeah, I did. I remember when I watched that. I remember when I did that, and it will bring out more memories, and that's the point. But of course, didn't do it the whole time. I did fall off many weeks. I would pick up many weeks. I would fall off again, and then I would randomly add some of the things. So I would kind of come back on board. I would write things down. Sometimes I would do like a whole week right at the top there, and literally write everything down. And I would start to allow myself the space to not think I have to be constantly going into just one place. And I do have a little bit of processing as to why I haven't been able to do things where I will write stuff down and kind of share my thoughts around it. I still really like this idea, and I think I'm going to keep it just because, I don't know, it is so much more meaningful. Oh my gosh, I forgot that this is where I was supposed to do this is where I was keeping the reading of the book in the weekly, not in the monthly, like I mentioned before. So yeah, this is the right place. I was putting the book reading in the weekly section, not the monthly section, because obviously I'm reading weekly. I'm not reading monthly. And I would just write every week the things that I read or didn't read. And these are audiobooks, by the way, on the side. I'm, once again, I skipped many different times. And then I started to add some ephemera to the mix as well, because I thought, why not, right? I'm, again, trying to expand as much as I can with the things that I'm putting down here and as I'm putting stuff down. So that's my weekly section. And then we get to the heart of the matter, the heart of what a Hobonichi is, which is the dailies. I'm going to show you my favorite thing. I haven't figured out what to do with right now. It's just empty. We'll see what happens if I do anything at the end of the year. Okay, so this is the section where I started to, this is my favorite. It's my favorite here. I'm going to put this here just in case we don't want to share some more memories. But the first page of the month has become my favorite, because I will just put the ephemera that I have of some things that were meaningful to me here. And I decided to just start putting stuff down from the month here, whatever that might be. And so here you can definitely see that I got new AirPods Pro, the second generation, which I love so much. So I put that here. I really loved this little tea, and I love the packaging of it, and it said happy, and I had to put it in here because of that. We went to the Rockies Hot Chicken Shack with the family. We went and got donuts over at Vortex with the family, which was really great. These donuts are amazing. These are the little things that come with the packages with the Apple stuff, which I thought was really cute. So I just put it in there just because I wanted to. This sticker here is for my kid's keyboard I got for Christmas for her, and I put it here because she kind of really liked that gift. This little twisty thing here is for my favorite. I think I have them here. This is I made a purchase. I always buy these lip balms. These are my favorite lip balms. I buy this through Amazon in like a pack of 10, and I always stock up, and I have these everywhere I am, like in every desk, just because I love this. And these are some inks that I got, and I kind of randomly swatched them here. It's not a very pretty swatch, but it's there. So that's kind of how I treat these, and this is like my favorite thing. And I've done it for, I think, every month. I will just put the ephemera here, and it just is a physical manifestation of the month in some way. I've done a little something almost every single month where I've added that. So these in and of itself are just perfect. They make me happy. Every time I open this part, I see, oops, this is a month. This is the month here. All of the little things that I have here that are meaningful and why they're here. I know what the story is. I might like write the story down again just to see that I can go like, why did I put, this sticker here? Like, what was the feeling that I had when I decided to put down this sticker? And there's something to be said about all that stuff. So that's been working really well. When it comes to my dailies, I just add, and I know this is super lame, but I really like to put the receipts of anything that I bought during the day. I put it down, which is the majority of what you see here. I also put down, whenever we go eat somewhere, we have these lovely menus, if I can have an opportunity to have menus. Sometimes I just have stickers that I find of stuff that I buy. I don't want to give away too much because this is a little bit of personal stuff that I have in here. And I try to, at first I was getting like, I will write down the schedule on one side, I will put down thoughts and feelings on this side. And then as of late, I've actually stopped the whole thing and I will just start writing. I'll just start writing whatever comes into my head, whether or not I will put in-depth feelings. This isn't my feeling book, if you will. This is more my whatever's in my head, I will put it down. I will write little things like shower, went to town, little tiny details about the day. I love to put stickers or things that have come in the mail from something like that, and just to keep things going forward with that. That is what is going on with this one. But again, it's very fat, so I think I'm going to be getting the Hobonichi Techo cousin avec next year. And I don't care if it's in English or not, because in all honesty, I haven't even been reading. The reason that I did that is because I wanted to read, this is helpful. If it says mun on there, that's really great. But I almost never read the quotes. Like I just don't read the quotes, which is sad because that's why I bought it, which is not cool. Moving on to this is the one that's worked the most. I'm trying to see if I can get a non-washed out view of this beautiful little book, and I don't know if I can do that. It says Eternal Pursuit on top. It is a beautifully bound, it looks like it's hand bound diary, if you will, in A6 size. This is the one that I've done every day. Like I literally have done there's been a few days missing, but every day I write a little something. Every day, this is my feeling book. This is where I will write down at least 1 or 2 sentences about my health, about my wellness, about my mental state, about how I'm feeling, whatever comes in. Again, sometimes it's just 1 sentence and it's good. I play with my fountain pens on here as well. This is also where I keep tally of if I'm having, and when I'm saying symptoms, it's like, it's not that there's anything wrong with me. I just like to have a thing that, especially now getting into my 50s, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have hip pain today. My eyes are very dry. I have a mucus. I am right now. And then it's just little places where I write that down. I also put down my kids' health things. So if one of them has a cold or developed a cough or didn't have a good night's sleep or something like that, I will write it down in here so that I can refer back to it later. And there are little areas where you can do that. I also track walking, very basic things. I know you guys are I haven't been doing it here, but it's literally showers, walking, showers, sleeping. And then I put it for the kids and for me. And that's because that's really the basics. How clean are we? When's the last time we showered? And I know that seems like, what? What do you mean, what time we showered? But sometimes, you got to get real. What? When's the last time that I showered? Especially because we don't go anywhere. Anyway, there's that. And I love it. I'm probably going to keep the habit. I don't know if I'm going to buy another one of these, even though I love it It is beautiful, beautifully made. I love it so much, truly. And this little thing that it came with is one of my favorite things too. These little like pencil biter thingy is awesome. But I don't think I'm going to get this because I wanted more to keep track of some things. I find, I'm going to open it up to a place where I find it's very hard to write. This part here becomes very hard to write in, and I can't see the lines are too. Anyway, there's some things about this layout that I'm not too keen on, and I really need that. I also feel that I need a little more from it, even though there's lots of beautiful things in here. Nothing against this book. I think it's a beautiful book. If anybody wants to purchase her stuff, it's just stunning. Really, if you love stationery, it's really, really well done. Let's go here with my little, so this is my test at using traveler's notebooks, because I was like, oh, I need one of these, but really, do I really need it? Do I? This traveled with me for a long time, and I almost never took it out. And there is not, this is like, I meant it to be a little, I got this is the skinny paper, like the super thin paper. I love the super thin paper. And this is meant to be just little notes that happen right in my brain as I'm out and about, which I love, and I think it's a great use for it. Fantastic. I'm all in for it. I don't really need to finish it. It's doing fine. That's what you need. This is the weekly that came from the release of the 2023 release. I find that I almost never use this thing, like at all. Like I think that I put the sticker on there just to start using it, but I never use this thing like at all. I'm probably not going to buy it. The only reason I bought it this year, it's because it was Traveler's Cafe coffee, and I'm a coffee obsessed, and I needed to have this. So that's why only reason I bought it. This is not working at all. I don't think I need it. I got this little folder. I believe it came with this, which I'll talk about in a second. This also is a non-traveler's notebook thing, and I really love this. I've just been sticking stuff in here. Whenever I don't know what to do with stuff, I will stick it in here. It's just fun, beautiful things. I love packaging. I love things that come from packages. I love my personal artifacts that I use all day, every day. I'll put them in here. My kid really loves Pokemon, so they gave me all their stuff. These are all little tiny things that I don't know where to put. They're a little too much for my Hobonichi, and I put it all in here. So this brings me joy. That's it. It just brings me joy. I'm just going to keep sticking things on here. That's what this is. Okay, so let's talk about the reason that I decided not to buy a traveler's notebook proper is because they are expensive. I did buy some accessories. I love this, by the way. Is because they are expensive, and I didn't know if I was going to use them. So I got this from Amazon, and I believe it was like $30 or something. I love the color, and I am unbelievably surprised by how much I love to touch this. It is so smooth. I love this color green. It is, it gets, I don't care that it gets these little lines here. Until I develop a proper habit of using a traveler's notebook, I'm not going to invest in a traveler's notebook because I'm not using it. I'm not. And this is enough. And I really honestly didn't think I was going to love this as much. I love the way this feels. And I did take it with me when I went to travel to visit my family last December. And it was everything because I did use it like a traveler's notebook. I, wrote when I was out. I stuck things in it. I have a whole little insert of just my trip to LA, and it brings me absolute joy. I worked on it in that way. It's perfect for that. I don't want to switch it. I love this thing. I just have to figure out, how to maybe use it more, or maybe it's just once in a while and I'm good with that. And the investment in this it came with like 3 inserts and that little note folder thing, and it's perfect. So there's that. Okay, last one. The Hobonichi Weeks. I love this form factor. It is probably, I'm amazed by how much I love this form factor. It is small. I write much smaller here for sure. Unfortunately though, I haven't been using it like I wanted to. I actually put, I think I even wrote down, so what's in this book? How am I using it 2023? I actually wrote that down in here. And I wrote down, oh my gosh, the light, it's so weird. Look at that. Camera's looking so bizarre. Okay, it's what I wrote down here is shopping, bills, ideas, home, finances, travel stuff, and journaling workflows and extra. So I was thinking this was going to be a catch-all for lots of different things, especially in the back side of it. And what I did is I did start to create lists, like a shopping wish list, and I would put the date and things that I wanted and to write it down for reference. I also had family wish list, which is on the other side of this. This is, and continuing, right, the wish list. So this is kind of my way of not shopping and just getting that dopamine hit of the ideas that come into my head. I had this for my kids, things that they could, that I would go buy, home and idea needs, like things that it's more like this would be more of like a bullet journal type of a thing where I would put down the spreads of reference for this, which I never ended up going to really. This one's like small random home needs. So this is like a catch-all for those ideas that were coming into my head, mainly dealing with shopping, with ideas of things we needed and things like that. I also did this beautiful spread. I love this spread actually, where I was able to put all of my expenses for the year on one page, like the ongoing expenses, and like meaning the yearly, like the things that you only get billed once a year or something like that went on this side, and then the things that were the monthly expenses went on this side. And I really love this spread. Unfortunately, I never look at it, which is a problem. And then I would do all the maths. Like I love to do math here. Like meaning not math as in like I'm studying math, but like financial stuff where I would just do the math. I love to put it in here because I love to reference back to what happens with that. I really like to also write if there's some Asheville places and I'm like, oh, I need to go back to some of these places, or I found this place, we need to go eat at this place, is a reference section. And then I thought stationery thoughts, like things about the way that I'm thinking through stationery, what I want to get, what I want to change, is all in here. All the plotter stuff, not all the plotter stuff is coming up, but that's in a different video. Just things like that. And feelings about money, feelings about shopping, little off the cuff stuff that I didn't know where to put it. This is where it's supposed to go. Unfortunately, it's in my bag and I never take it out, which is why it's not doing so well. And in looking back, I love this form factor so much. I don't understand why I don't take this out more. And I started off, what I was doing is, I'm going to put one where you didn't do it. So this is what I was doing. I was on this side writing down expenses or writing down things that I've bought or have had to buy to see where the money is being spent. And then on this side, especially when I will do a random like, oh my God, I need to get like more pens, I journal about what the trigger was about me shopping, so that I can really start to find the threads between money spent and what it's giving me, and when it's necessary, when it's not. So it becomes more of an emotional processing, and sometimes writing this stuff down really helps to stop doing random spending that is meaningless, and it really is more just of a dopamine hit. That's just something that I've been thinking about for sure about. So I love this form factor. I'm bummed that I don't use it more. And I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see if I can put it somewhere to really begin to engage with this book more, because it's so important. Right, I am going to stop this video here because it became much longer than I thought. So these are just Techo Kaigi, my memory keeping journals, and I will do another video that is all about my planners. Thank you for watching. Keep subscribed. I hope to do more of this. And future Elsie, remember why you do what you do.